sir is not available, so I'm taking the session early. Okay.
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 Yes, ma'am.
I'm sharing my screen. So what was the last topic?
Inheritance.
No, that's already completed, right? Yeah. Can you
Yes.
see my screen?
Yes, ma'am. We can.
Okay. Last class, polymorphism. In the
Yeah,
polymorphism, we
polymorphism.
completed method overriding. We are at yes, we are overloading. Let me open the class also one second.
Polymorphism.
So I will open the document also. What we discussed in the last class. So what are the types in polymorphism?
Two types. Overloading, overriding.
Okay. So we completed overloading, right? Overriding. We get overriding. Yes, yes. Overriding with some examples. So in the bank scenario and animal scenario, we have seen about overriding. Now we have to see about overloading. Yes, yes, that is only. So we are having same method name. Okay. Yes. Okay. So
Adel. मत क्लास हाँ बोलो हम्म आज क्विक क्लास हो रहा
Recording in progress.
yeah, can you hear me now? Yes, am I audible? Sami? So where is Imran? Yeah. So can you see my screen now? Okay. I will wait. Just I am asking you, can you see my screen? That's it. Yes, right? Yeah, I will wait. I will wait for 5 minutes. Yeah, are you talking with me? Yeah, I'm Rana. Yes. Over, overriding is finished. So what are the polymorphism types? Overloading and overloading. So what is overloading? We're having the same method and same different functionality. Same method and different functionality. So at this time, when we are in this, if we have same method like speak, if you have in the subclass also you have speak. So here method right and that. So this is method. This is method only. Okay. So suppose I'm taking some other example. In the last class we have seen this one. So class animal like this we have taken, right? This is just the parent class. So in this, if you have some constructor, this is taken constructor over there. So for the constructor only we have taken one name. I mean one argument which was over there, that is name. So when we are writing method in this six, I mean when we are creating the method for this, first of all, how we can create this, how we can initialize this variables here, self dot name equal to name. So I want to print this. So for that I am creating one method. So here we are writing one statement.
Return.
So here just I am writing something like that. So this is related to up to this parent class only. Now I am creating one more class. Class is related to subclass. That's why I'm mentioning the animal. So I'm creating one more class. That is cat. This is also subclass. These both are subclasses. This is our last class example. What is this? This is parent class. So when we are creating the object for this, if we are writing same method here also, that we can call it as polymorphism, right? What is the method? Speak. If we are writing same method. That means we are overriding the method here. At this time, what will happen? When we are overriding the method, this subclass statement should be printed. Apart from this, when I am creating the object for this, which one will be executed? This subclass. It will override the parent class. That's why only subclass statement should be printed. That is the meaning of overriding. That is the use of overriding. If I am writing here, let's see. So same method name. Nothing is different. Same method name. But the statement should be different. I mean functionality. You can use functionality. So if I am creating objects, how we can create A equal animal. Sorry, small number. Animal I am taking. So in the animal, what it's expecting? It's expecting one argument, right? So we don't need to take this, right? If you take this expecting argument. So we don't need this one. Directly we are writing the method. Okay. Now it's not expecting any argument. Just we can call the method. So what it will be printed? Output. It will give. It's just an animal, right? Yeah, animal. Yes, animal. But when we are overriding the method in the subclasses, if we are creating method for cat, this already you know. Okay. So I'm creating object for this. If I'm calling with this object, I'm calling the method with this object. At this time, no.
It's not gonna give anything. We are going to
Overriding,
get
right?
error.
So overriding, right? Speak will be printed here. That's why it won't be printed parent one. It's automatically taking the subclass statement. That's why it's printed the cat. So this is the meaning of that. See, changing the behavior of parent class in its subclass. So what is the behavior of parent class? Animal. But it's taking the subclass statement because we are overriding, right? That's why it's taking the subclass statement. This is the meaning of overriding. This is the concept of overriding. You can take any number of examples in your own. So this is my example. And I told about bank also. Now coming to the overloading. So what is overloading? So I already wrote here. So we can say like it's having the same method name. Yes. No, 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 no. What is polymorphism first? It's having same method name, but different behaviors, right? So the different behaviors is consisting two types. One is method overriding. Next one is method overloading. Already we have seen same method name, but different functionality, right? Different behavior, right? This is one. In the method overloading, method name should be same, but uh, same method name with different parameters. Different parameters. That means arguments. This we can call it as method overloading. Overloading. So in this also we have two types of method overloading. One is constructor overloading. Second one is method overloading. Overloading is two types. One is constructor overloading. Second one is method overloading. So first, we'll see about constructor overloading. Okay. So constructor overloading is nothing but how we can create a constructor. There. So we have same name, same constructor name. Right. Okay. So we have to take same method name. So any number of times. But the passed parameter should be different. So here I didn't pass anything, right? Here. So but I need to pass here because let me complete this. But I didn't pass anything. This time I'm initializing a value here. Okay. That means this won't expect any argument. So we are passing different parameters. Second one is this is same constructor name, right? But we are passing different parameters. So here I am passing A. At this time, cell dot A equals A. Cell dot B equals some number. So it's expecting only one argument. Now I am passing two arguments at this time. Cell dot so we need to pass two arguments over here. So see this, what is constructor overloading? It should be having the same constructor name. Same constructor name with different arguments. So how we can implement this one? First, did you understand? Is this having same constructor name, right? What is that? Init is constructor. So I'm using same constructor name, but argument should be this is don't have the argument. No argument here. This is having one argument. This is having two arguments. So like this, if we are mentioning, we are passing the argument like this, we can call it as constructor overloading. So this all method should be under one class, whatever it may be. So suppose I'm taking A. A is my class. So how the implementation will be? So implementation. Suppose we are having same method, right? So at this time, how we can implement the method? So it's taking when I'm calling with when I'm calling the when I'm creating the object, what is taking? Because here we are having the three, right? So which one it should take? We can't say that one. We can't say that one normally. If we are passing one argument, which method will work? Yes. If we are not passing any argument at this time, which method? Yes. We are passing two arguments. So like that we are having the implementation. So first I am creating the method for this. So object for this. This is normal object. First I am creating A1. So this is default one, right? So for this all things, I am creating one method. So display. What display will do is, so what inside of the variable we have, that will be printed. Suppose, so it's whatever we have the initialization in the variables, what we are initializing with the variables, that will be printed. So suppose example format string. So what we have variable only AB, right? Self dot A. If we are having self A variable, that will be printed. If you are having B variable, that will be printed. This is the display method. First, I am creating the object for this. So what is object? A1 equal to A. So did I pass any argument? So which method will work? First. Yes. When I am displaying with this object, A1 dot display. What is the output? You can expect. So we see this and tell me. Yes, AB. What is consistent? This method will be called, right? This method will be called. So what is means method inside the variable we are initializing? We are by default arguments we are initializing, right? We are initializing some values. So that will be printed with this display method. So what are the default values here? 100 and 200. So 100 comma 200 will be printed. Next. When I'm calling the second display, second no, no, A1 only, A1 display. Okay, we need to pass that. So at this time A2 equal A of, so I'm calling 10. So both are expecting 2 of these. Right. Yeah, so I'm passing only one argument. Which method will be for implemented? Second method. So what is the output we can expect with the display? So with the A we are passing A value, right? 10. So 10 will be printed. So what is the remaining method? Remaining value? B already we are initializing here, 200. Right? This is related to display. A2 dot. Yes, by A2 because we need to implement with arguments, right? At this time we have to use the, we have to take the another argument. We can't pass, if we are passing this in this only, it's only working all the times, right? We need to specify. Yes. Now A3 dot display. So which method? Third method. So what is the output? So what is the A value here? I'm passing A and B value. So 10, 20. Like this we'll get. Same this example I implemented in practical. First let me show you. So this, see this one. See this one. What I am just now, what I told you, same that one only. Oh, okay. See, this is constructor overloading. So it is having, first we don't have any parameter argument here. Then we have two arguments. Then we have one argument. Same. If we don't have any argument, we have to define the default arguments. Otherwise, it won't work. If we are not mentioning like this, it won't work. It will give the error. Then if we are having the argument, we have to initialize the, I don't know.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Just listening to you.
Yeah, next we are having one argument, right? So we are passing one argument. So same this one, I'm implementing practically. So first see the implementation for the first without argument. I'm creating one object for this. Just now we are created, right? Same like that.
Yes, ma'am.
First without argument, with two argument, with single argument. So if I'm passing a1 dot a, so which one will be printed? If I want to access only with variable, that will be printed a1 dot a. So a1
100.
is related to first method, that will be called. In the first method, what is the a value?
100.
Next, a1 dot b. Which method it is? A1 first method. Yes.
We don't have any documents.
Yes, first method only, right? Yeah. Now it will be printed B. If we are passing any display method, then just now I said that one, right? Display. If we are mentioning in the display, this both will be printed at a time. This is separately. If we want to print both both at a time, we have to create display method. So that's I created here. Not this one. This one. See this one? Just now I wrote the same that method on. So
First, I created a class.
So in that class,
Ma'am, you didn't wrote there, ma'am, what you have done.
what, where,
Yeah.
just now I wrote here, right? I wrote here, right? In the afternoon. I mentioned here, right? So I didn't mention date, right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Back. This from this I started, right? Yeah, from this. So what is the period? I mentioned the date here, right? So 14. Okay. Now it will be clear.
Said 14th April.
Today 14th only.
One more day is left.
Why? For what?
16th April is my mom's birthday.
Oh, advance happy birthday. Yeah, I will remember. So where is the party? Where is the party in UK?
No party, nothing. We don't celebrate birthdays, ma'am.
Okay. So I am writing here for your understanding purpose. This is
Yes, ma'am, just write it so
method
that whenever I open, I should be able to understand.
method overloading. Yes. Yes. So sorry. This is constructor overload. Constructor overloading. What is constructor overloading? When we are creating the init. This is constructor.
Underscore init in it.
So this is constructor. No, no.
No.
Constructor is I am mentioning this name. When we are using this init, that we can call it as constructor, right? That's why I'm mentioning, or else I'm reviewing.
Ma'am, write it here like define underscore init underscore then self without this first class is without argument. Then we have arguments a and b. Just write it in each and every line, ma'am, so that it should be able to understand. Without argument. This is double argument. A comma B.
Two or else two arguments, one argument. Okay. Now I created, just now I said, right, how to create that one. So without argument, we don't need to pass any argument here, but we have to initialize definitely. Otherwise, we will
Why
get.
we need to initialize, ma'am? When we are
So
not giving any arguments?
In the Python, if we are not mentioning like this, we are not defining the default parameters, it will give the error. So see
Mm-hmm.
this one. Yeah. So if I am removing this, see this. If I am not defining anything, is it giving error?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you are asking. No, I'm not. I'm not defining anything, right? It's expected arguments. Detection block after function definition. So that's why. That's what we have to definitely define the some argument, default argument. We are mentioning at least one also. It will take it, right? If we didn't for initialize this
If
one
if we
parameter,
if
then
we use as a keyword as pause,
uh, I think it will give error. Let us check.
pause, then we can say what we are going to. Yeah,
It's taking, but
it's taking, right?
yeah, it's taking. It's taking. That is also okay. But we need to pass something. Default one. Pass is nothing but it's taking the default one, right? Pass is also like default thing. Yes. Pass means it's taking something. Let me check. I don't know what will think of. Yes, getting error.
We get an error because we are not writing anything, any arguments or anything.
That's why
So
we
we are using the keyword as pass.
then
See,
also
now we are getting an error.
now I am passing this. So we must define the variable. Right? So when I'm calling the display method, which method will be called? First method. So this is the
Display.
first. Yes.
Now
Display
what
method
is this display, ma'am?
display is for just printing all the variables, whatever we have. Normally, if you want to access A, what we will do?
Print as a
Print
print a
p1
print
dot A,
p1 dot a.
right? It will take the only A value. If you want to
But here
print
we are
it,
using as display, ma'am. Why we are using as
that's
display
what
here?
I am telling. Yes, yes. So I'm printing separate. Sorry, P1 only, right? Already you know this one, but you forget it. Okay.
Mm.
See. So I'm calling separately. This will be printed, right? Separately.
Yes.
But I want at a time both variables, right? I want to access both variable at a time. I mean, how many variables I have defined in this method. I want to
Mm-hmm.
access those all variables. So what we will do?
So we are using as a function as display here.
Yes. For that, we have to create one method to display,
Display method.
to print all the defined variables. We have to create this method.
Ma'am, is it necessary that we need to write the display or any other word we can write it then?
We don't need this. Not only this, you have this is custom method name. You can
Yes.
create your any name. You can apply any name. Display or
Because earlier we used to use whatever
view.
we want.
View. I'm giving you. At this time, you have to use the view. First, you have to understand why we are creating this method to display all the variables
Just
at a time.
to display all the variables at one time, we are using that.
So, see this at a time. Did we get right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
So that's what we have to use this method. So I'm keeping display only. You can use anything. It's no. We have seen right.
Without arguments, we are using single argument, then double argument.
Okay. I'm
Then
keeping,
how we are displaying this, we are using display.
okay. Now I'm taking the two arguments. So for this, I'm creating one object. For the two argument, I'm creating one
Mm-hmm.
object as P2. You can take this.
P2 equal to A comma 10.
So it's expecting two arguments, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's why 10, 20. When I'm using display method at a time, we'll get the values 10 and 20. If you want separately, just say print of P2 dot
P2 dot A.
A like this. You can access single or at a time
Ma'am,
all the
can we use small a or capital A?
small a. We are defining with small a right here.
Yes, ma'am.
What we are passing, what we are defining, just we have to give that meaning. Now, this third one with only one argument. So I'm creating with one argument. I'm creating object for one argument. Now I want to display that all things. And I want to print single object. So P3 dot P. What is the order?
Let's see.
Okay, I didn't call this one. I didn't run that one, that's right. Okay. 10 is
Yes,
from
ma'am.
this. 200 already by default we are utilizing, right? Here. That is state. This is the, what is the method? Constructor overloading.
Okay,
This is
constructor.
first method. So in the overloading, we have two types.
Okay, in overloading, we have two terms, overriding. Two
What about
types,
one is
constructor
constructor
overloading
overloading,
and overloading
method overloading.
method. Okay.
So now we will see the method overloading.
And in polymorphism, overriding, overloading.
Yes, main concept in the
Mhm.
subconcept.
So for
Yes.
constructor overloading and method overloading.
So I'm taking again I have to mention. Okay. Now, so next one, what is the method? Method overloading. For this,
So in this, ma'am, in both of them, what is the difference between both of them?
yeah, just I will tell this way. That is constructor, right? For here,
Yes, ma'am, constructor
we have to
overloading. Now
create the
method overloading.
so we have to duplicate the methods. Method name. So for this is for constructor overloading. See this. So this is related to method overload.
So we are creating class as
Yes.
finance, then we are
So this is
initializing
constructor. In that
self
constructor, I created one method. What is the method? Interest.
interest method.
So same method name, I'm recreating. I mean, repeating the method name. Sorry. So here I'm repeating the same method name, but
Mhm.
I'm passing the different parameters. Same like overloading only. But there we are using, there we used the constructor, here we used the method. In the place of constructor, we are using a method, but the definition is same. Same method
So
name.
you're saying in the same class we are using the name of two methods
Yes, same name, same method name,
repeatedly, same
yeah,
method.
different
So
parameters.
do we have any definition, ma'am, for that?
Yes, I will write.
So that it should be able to,
So I will write here.
yeah, overloading and argument overloading, method overloading,
Method overloading is nothing but
constructor overloading.
here same constructor name. So then same constructor name, right here. So what is the constructor here? Same constructor means init.
In it.
Here same method name.
Same method name. Same method name with arguments.
Different arguments. That is just for defining the variables. But we have to concentrate in the method or overloading, we have to concentrate on the methods only. There we are mentioning the constructor, right? At the time we have to concentrate on constructor. This is related to method, right? So we have to concentrate on methods only. For this, I'm taking finance. So for the finance, they have different what we can call different interest, right? So for different accounts, different interest. So first we have to create constructor. Why we need to create constructor? To define the variable. First I am taking the one variable like amount. That's why I'm taking the constructor over here.
Now self dot amount equal to amount.
So just for this, I'm creating the constructor. Now I'm creating the method interest. So for the interest cell, first I'm not taking the interest, just I'm taking the default arguments. We have to mention the default arguments, right? So that's why I'm taking the default argument like
Return f.
cell dot amount. Just I'm printing with this. So I was into I'm taking first my default one is 0.01%. I mean I want to take interest for him like 10% interest.
So for particular amount you are charging this month 1% of
10%.
10% of interest.
10%.
Okay.
We are keeping the 00, that is 1%. This is 10%.
Okay. 10%. Then
I'm
defining
taking the
again
another
method interest.
at this time, if he is delay the time, he is delaying time. I mean,
Not wait on that.
yes, same time. At that time, first we have to take the default argument like this, same. Then we have to change the method, behavior. So same method and different behavior, right? So this is the one argument, cell dot
Dot on
amount. So
into
same, that one we have to take with this. If
10%.
they are not paying us regularly, I want to add him with the delay time some amount. So delay time. So based on the delay time, I want to charge like, so I have mentioned some amount here. Some percent, you can take any percentage. So sorry. Here directly I am mentioning, right? If days are going, okay. If the days are going above 0, I mean days are going more than 1, it's automatically detected like daily 10%. That means is not taking today, is not paying today, 10 rupees will be cutted. Tomorrow also not is paying interest, then 10 plus 10, 20. Like that, if he is delay with 5 days, total how much interest we will take? Normally 10% means how much? 10 rupees, right?
0.01.
Yes, with example I will explain. So you can understand. So here we don't need to multiply, just we have to take the condition. Delay time, if delay time is greater than 0, I mean 0 means no delay. If it is above the 0, I mean pending, then this will be added. I mean days, one will be added day by day. I mean, what is this one means? This is calculated daily wise. So multiplied with how many days we are not paying, that will be multiplied with original amount. So take for example, take that one. If daytime is greater than 0, then okay. Else the daily, it depends on daily wise. One by one it will be added. Suppose take some interest implementation. You can implementation. So first I am the financier. So I'm creating object for this finance. It's equal finance. So what is the default one? Amount. We have to add some amount, right? So I'm taking 1,000. Okay. I given 1,000 rupees. For this, I'm implementing the interest method. So now I'm not pausing any argument here. Then what is the output? Which method will be called? Without argument. Without argument. So which method will be called? This first method, right? Are you there?
Yes, but not able to understand.
Same like constructor method only. So I created two methods, right? This is one method. This is first method. This is second method. Both are same, right? When we are using both methods are same, that we can call it as polymorphism. So in this, if we are passing the different parameters, okay, leave about this. We are passing different parameters. In this interest, is this having any parameters? No. No argument, right? This is having one argument. Right? Is this clear? Up to this clear? So it's expecting one argument. This is don't have any argument. So first I am creating one object for this. So here I'm giving the by default it's asking the one argument, right? Why? We are mentioning the constructor, right? If we are giving the default one, then it's expecting the interest. That means if I am the financier, I'm giving the 1,000 rupees, then only for that 1,000 rupees only you will pay the interest, right? So for that we have to create the default constructor here. Otherwise we don't have any interest, right? Without money, how we can create the interest? That's why we have to create the constructor first. So if I am calling the first without argument, which method will call? This method. So here without argument. So how much interest will be applied here? 0.01 means
10%.
10%. 10% means how much from the 1,000?
100.
100 only. 100. Okay. Then f dot interest. I'm pausing. If it's delaying like 3 days. So which method will be called? So it's expecting one argument, right? So which method
What is this
having
3, ma'am?
Yes. Delay time. Delay date or else delay days delay. Days delay. You can understand. Okay.
So you're giving penalty on that.
Yes. Days delay. Okay. So if days are going delay, then I want to pass that argument here. So how many days we are giving, that will be taking here. So which method will be called? This second method, because it's having one argument, right? So days delay days are delay days are, so delay days is correct, I think. Okay, delay days are, I'm giving 3 days. So if I'm giving 3 days, how much the penalty for 3 days? If I'm delaying 3 days, normally first interest is 100. I think 10 rupees, I think 10% means 100 only. Okay.
10.
10 or 100?
10, ma'am.
I think 10. Okay. If I'm passing 3 days, how much total penalty? 3 for the 3 days. 10 into 3. We are multiplying
100.
delay days.
Ma'am, 100, 10%.
Okay. 10 into total amount 10. 10 into delay days. Delay days 3. 3 into 10. 3 into 100. 300 will be penalty. I mean interest rate. If he is delaying the paying days,
Ma'am, is it 100, ma'am?
let me check with the practical just to understand the concept first. Yeah, I will check with the practical, then it's giving the correct one. Okay. Up to now, so no. Oh, no. So I will conclude with this practical, then we will get the correct one. So this is method overloading. Here, what is the,
So if you are
we
delaying
are
100
using the,
rupees, we have to pay.
we are using the same method name with different arguments. That we can call it as method overloading.
Ma'am, I'm not able to understand here, ma'am. In second line, interest return self brought amount into 0.01, then delay dates. This one is the one I'm not able to understand.
So normally, if we are not mentioning this one, okay, let us check without argument, okay. Normal argument, okay. Let us check with this.
So we are using a self brought amount into 0.01, then into delay date if delay is greater than 0, else 1. What is else 1, ma'am?
If it is greater than 1, I mean 1 means day by day it's increased. We can take like that. Or else we will remove this one. Let me check first. Okay. Up to this clear, okay. So delay days late. That means how much we are giving, that will be multiplied with original amount. I mean original interest. Is it okay now?
Just take an example, ma'am, so that it will be easy to understand the calculation of that.
Now I'm creating the object for this. Okay. So how we can create the object? So we already know it.
F1.
Again. F1 equals finance. We are creating like this. Spelling mistake. Okay. So it's expecting one argument. If I'm not causing any argument, we'll get error. Okay. Because here we are creating one constructor, right? So it's expecting one argument. I pause it, pause it. Is it clear? No? No. First, we have to access the interest method with this. So with this method, which one will be called? Which one will be
That
called?
is the one I'm not able to understand. Which method is that and how we are doing the calculation of this?
This is taking default one, right? I mean, without argument. Did I pass any argument here?
No.
This interest method,
So how we are getting 10, ma'am, there?
That's why I'm telling. How many interest methods are here with this program?
Two.
Two. Which is don't have the argument. This is having
First.
one argument, right?
Yes, ma'am.
One argument. In this,
No argument.
argument. Okay. Which one will be called this when I'm calling this method? Which method will be called here? No arguments, right? This one. So directly it will take this functionality. Okay.
So how we are getting 10, ma'am?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling here. So what is the total amount here? 1,000. So
1,000.
in the 1,000, 10% means 10% means how much? Divided by
Just a
100, right?
second.
0.01, I mean 10%. 10 divided by 100. If we are doing that one, we'll get the 10.
No, we are getting.
Did you calculate that one? 10
Just a second, ma'am.
into 10.
We are getting as 100.
It's not multiplying. Is it correct? Percent.
1,000 into 10 divided by 100, which is equal to 100. It's not 10.
Like this only.
See, 100 we are getting. But on the above 51 line, we are getting as 10, ma'am.
I think 0.0.
Now we are getting 100.
That means 0.1. Okay.
Mm.
Yes, yes. This is like
I said you before 0.1.
okay. I think this is correct. But which one will be applied? Okay, 10% means this one. Okay, is it clear now? Okay.
Then next.
Next, this is without argument, right? Now,
Yeah, without argument.
now I want to add f1 dot interest. So I'm passing one argument here. What is this? This is one argument.
Passing one argument, right?
So which method will be called here?
Second one.
Second one, right? Let me see. I think it will be error. Let me see. Yes, it will be error.
Finance interest takes one positional argument, but two
So
were given. We wrote as return as self dot amount into 0.1, then into days release.
call that one dot f1 dot finance. A percent of 1,000. Not creating anything. Oh, sorry. Interest. Anything mistake?
But it's saying us but two were given, ma'am. We need to write only one positional argument it's saying us.
But before this, I took that one, right? Okay, I think
Two arguments, and since we are giving here two arguments, days delay.
no,
Late.
here I think yes. Here we have to give the default arguments. I think. This is out.
Again.
We are pausing this method.
Greater than 0.
Just wait, just wait. Hi. Yeah, my audible?
Yes,
Sorry,
ma'am.
sorry. My kids are coming that way. Sorry. Now, what is the other we have to do? So before this, I created like this that the state if it is greater than 0, that will check the process. So here itself I am pausing the second one. Okay, I think spelling mistake. See this one. That's why. Spelling mistake. No, I'm pausing. I think that will also. Yeah, no problem. Spelling mistake. And just wait.
Spelling mistake.
Yes. In the place of interest, I am mentioning E in the middle. That's what it's showing here. Just now I read here. This will be added. Just now I removed this one. So I removed this one also. I will remove this one. So now we have to call separately. So I rerun that one, right? That's why it's showing. First we have to call first one. Okay? Up to this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we have to call with argument. F1 dot. Did I change that? Okay. Now 3 days I am mentioning. How much we will get? We had 300. Sorry. We have to rerun this one, right? So I am applying second method. When I am calling this one, this will be removed. So first one, I will recreate. Otherwise, it will get error. I will run this one. So we have to create the separate price. So for that, so I'm creating X2 equal at this time also 1000 f2 dot interest. So in this time I pass in the argument, right? Because we have two methods, right? For that we have to create two times separately. Otherwise we will get a error like this.
So earlier we were using as f1 dot interest,
Yes.
and now we are giving days, how many days of delay it is.
So for that we are passing the 3 days. So he's
Ma'am, write there, ma'am. In that line, write it so that
Yes.
it will be easy to understand.
Here I have to write what I would say.
F2 dot interest, in bracket you wrote 3.
Okay. So for this is related to method overload. First one is constructor overloading. Now
Constructor
we are
overloading.
completed
In that
method.
constructor overloading, we have done without argument, with one single argument, with doubling argument. And we are using a method as display there,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes. So in 40,
Then for method overloading, we are using two methods with the same names.
So up to now
Is
what
it right, ma'am?
yeah, what you are saying?
In overloading, not method overloading, we are using the method name, same names
Yes.
twice.
Passing
We are
different
repeating
arguments.
with different arguments.
Same constructor method same with different argument. But in the place of constructor, we are using the method name.
We are not using constructor here. Earlier we were using constructor, then
Constructor,
method.
here we are using the method name. That's it. Difference. So up
There
to
we are
now,
using two constructed, ma'am.
if we are using the constructor overloading, we have to use the
Can you please once again explain, ma'am, so that just recall it, so that it will be easy.
let me come first I will start with from the starting. So we are completed the object,
Yes,
class,
ma'am. Mm-hmm.
then constructor.
Object is the blueprints, right?
Object is real-time entity. Class is the
Yeah, class
blueprint
is
of
the
that real-time
blueprints.
entity model.
Mm.
Next constructor.
Mm-hmm.
Init is constructor, how to create constructor. Then
Yeah,
instance
underscore in it.
static variables. Here
Then instance and class variables.
then methods. Then access modifiers. Then inheritance. Already I told about this all in this document also. Oh. Coming to the polymorphism.
Polymorphism.
Two types. What are those?
Method overriding.
Method overload. So this is related to method overriding. We are having the
Okay.
same method name, same different functionality, same method name with different functionality. So that is the
With different?
functionality. So see this different functionality. I mean different statement. We are printing the statement, right? Different statement.
Yes, we are asking to return this.
Yeah. This is changing behavior of parent class in its subclass. The subclass statement is printed. So a parent statement will be ignored at this time when we are calling with the subclass.
Ma'am, I didn't get this one. Changing behavior of parent class. Then?
That means this functionality will be ignored when we are creating a subclass. Already I explained, right?
Getting confused, ma'am. Sorry to say.
Just now we have seen, right, animal See, changing behavior of parents in its subclass. That means when I am creating this subclass statement should be printed. This will be ignored, this parent statement. When I created the object for this subclass will be printed. If I call this method, I wrote here. Once you go through this, you can understand. I already
Just recall, ma'am, once again so that it will be easy.
explained 2-3 times, right?
Once again, ma'am,
Go
please.
through this because I have to complete, right? Charan will upload. I too don't know when he is uploading. So let me. Okay. So see this one. Just I will just recalling everything. So this is the method overriding. What is overloading?
You're using
Same
methods, two different
method name passing different arguments.
arguments.
That we can
Same
call
method
it as
name, but
overloading.
passing two different arguments.
Overloading. In that we are having two types. One is constructor overloading. Second one is method overloading.
Why we are not writing them, ma'am? Constructor overloading and
This are written one. I will write here. So this is only overloading. In this overloading, is having method. Okay, here we are having two types, right? So constructor, what are the two types? One is constructor overloading.
method overload.
Then method overloading. That we have seen this. Okay. Next we have seen an example of that in the practical also. So see this one. Constructor overloading. We have to use the default arguments. Already we have seen, right? If we are not passing any default one, we are not initializing any means self dot a equal to a. If we are not mentioning that one, we'll get the error, right? We got the error. Just now we have seen. That's the meaning of this one. Or else we have to use the star.
Ma'am, write it here as use default arguments, ma'am, here. ARGS.
Args means arguments. Shall I write here?
Don't know. Yeah, just write it there so that it will be easy. ARGS stands for what?
Argument. Okay. So time is completed. Okay. Now this is related to method overriding. Already we have seen about this in our previous class. So here we are taking the interest rate. Same interest rate. Interest rate is same method, but the class name is different. We are inherited the each class with the bank account parent class. So that interest rate will be changed. See, for this class, the interest rate is by default parent one is 4%, next 5% for the saving account, for the fixed deposit 7%, like that. So if we are implementing this is for current account. So I have the 4 accounts in my bank. So when I am creating the variable for these 3 accounts, it's automatically, so when I'm creating one list for this, if I want to print this all the objects at a time, we have to use the for loop. Then that all the interest rate will be accessed with this. What is this? This accounts will be stored in this account. So how we can access the list? How we can
So we
access
are going
each element from the list? Using for loop. We have to iterate each value from this list. Then we have to access, if
So
you want,
do we going to get the output as saving account, this much interest, and fixed deposit
all the
account,
things
this
at
much
a time.
interest? Okay.
Then we will get this total. By iterating, with the iteration, we'll get this all the printing statements. Okay, that is related to that one. Now, see, constructor overloading. I wrote here exact definition. Go through this ones with the example.
Oh, what? Having multiple constructors with different numbers, parameters. In
Type of
Java or C++,
we are passing
you
the
can.
parameters, right? Right.
Yes, ma'am.
You
Parameters are
have to
nothing but
double click on that
arguments,
one.
you're saying.
Yes. You have to double click on that, then you will get like this. So in Java, we are having this overloading concept. But in Python, we don't have this overloading concept. But we have to implement with the default arguments. Just now we have seen, right? Self dot a equal to a, like that. So with this, I already explained with that example. Go through this example once. Okay. This is example.
What is this, ma'am? But you can
No,
mimic it
I won't
using
explain.
default
Go through this.
arguments.
Just I am writing this one. Just to go through this. Try to implement. This is
Arey, ma'am,
related to,
let me see first so that we can understand at
yeah.
least. If I'm having doubt right now, I can ask you.
No. Tomorrow you can ask me. Please go through this because time is left.
Are
Right?
you in Arya?
Actually, I have.
Today you're rushing
I
a
have
lot.
I have some work. That's what. Already I explained that one with the example, right? Just this. With your